guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making a very super fun lesson in C++. As always, we're going to be making arrays, vectors and maps. At the end of the video, we're going to be knowing how to use these 3 data containers in many different ways. Unlike variables, they can contain different things in them. So let's get right into it. What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be learning about arrays, vectors and maps. So let's get right into it. So here we are going to be making actually no, you won't need to make any project. I will just walk you through. If you want, you can take notes. So let's go to that project. Okay, so first we're going to be doing arrays. Arrays are going to be the biggest thing to talk about in this video. Yes, that is going to be the biggest thing. So, by the way, just a quick disclaimer, I'm not going to be re-explaining things that I've already explained in past videos. So let's get started. So, here, as you get information, I said the numbers inside the square brackets are saying, actually no, I will just tell you guys what is happening, and if you want, you can read that. So here we made a string called our full array. So when we make a string, we first put the type. We're not using namespace std, so we have to write this. Then we said make the attribute a string. Then we said what name we want it to be. And then here what I tried to say is that we can only put integers in here, and that's going to be the amount of value that you can put in the object. But what's weird is that after when you manipulate arrays and you print them out and all of that, you will print out an index and what I mean by index is not 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because in C++, in other languages, you start from 0. So you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because as you know, when you do your index, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's all of the numbers that I that we use to make any number. Because it's not 0 is a part of it. We can't just say that 10 is also 1, because look, 10 is 1. We use the 1. So we're just adding a new space for the next integer number. So we use the 1 here, and the 0 we use it here. Like 1,000, for example. Bam, bam, and bam. We're using the 1 here, the 0 here, and these 2 here to the 0 here. So I hope that you understand this index stuff. Or for example, if I said 98, 9 is here, 80, or if I said for example 89, 8 is here, 9 is here. Okay. After here I said that so here I said that when you make a simple array, you have, and if you don't say what is there inside, because you can of course give input to an array, but if you give an input and you don't say what is it equal to, or if you just don't define what is the array equal to, then you have to put the index in here. How many objects there are going to be in. But after, if we're declaring what we're going to put inside, we'll have to put these square brackets. No, sorry, curly brackets. Then we selected a string. So after we had to put the string notations, then we put what string we want to put inside. Then we had to put a comma, which means commas to give space to each of the objects. Yes, and it's also possible to remove the amount of objects that we have in the whole array, because only when we have a separated array we have to write how many objects are inside. But after when we have it equal to something, then it's not obligatory to write how many objects are inside. And after we can of course do this with ints, floats, characters, strings, all of the types. And also we can write empty arrays or non-empty arrays. This would be the preferred way to write it, but you can also write it like this. The reason why I'm putting comments, by the way, is because if I were to write the same name for two things, don't mind the names, that's just some tweaking that I did. But it would be preferred to write it in this way, in an empty array, an undefined array, and not this way. That would be more code to write, and we don't want to write more code. Fine, I get it. Maybe you'd like to do it. Maybe it's a habit for you to do that. Maybe it's a favor for you. Maybe it's a privilege. But still, I think that I feel like I should not just add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters of in addition, because spaces counts also as a character. So after here I just made big lines separating the code. Okay, and here I said this is how we put okay, this is how we put down an array. So first we just made the array, and remember here I used the another way to do it. I just didn't put any index. Revision. And here this is the fastest way of doing it. And remember, you could also say this, or some of you would maybe like to do this. But again, for the best formatting purposes, let's put it on one line. Bam. Best format tips. Wait, we're doing this. So here we made a for loop. After, what is this comma? What is it? No, colon doing. What is this colon doing? What is it doing? Well, it's not that complicated actually. So if you think about it, what we're saying here is that we're saying we're making a string called I. Then we're saying that we're referencing to array. And this is array. And referencing means trying to say that something else is something else. I apologize if I'm wrong, because I can't give very good definitions, but that's really just the idea. I hope you know what's referencing. If you don't know what's referencing, then just actually let's look it on the internet. Referencing. Referencing. Provide a book. No, sorry. Mention or refer to. It's when you mention something and when you refer to something. Great. Now we know the definition. And after when we referred I to array, we said that we didn't say that I was equal to array. We said it was referred to. So it's different because here's the array called array. Okay, it's called array. And after where this I that we said it was reference to it, what it's really doing is that we have this array, right? This big group of bunch of data. Then we just put spaces, commas over all of this data, right? So after we have these names like hell, let's just say hell, okay? H-E, just to make it simple for the first letters. F. Okay, so you get the point, and after we can whatever. You get the point. So the point is that I is not equal to all of this at once. And a way to prove that is because, remember, for loop does it multiple times. Why would we want it to be a for loop if it's equal to that immediately, the whole thing? So that's one of the ways that you could know it. And after I is not equal to the whole thing. It's only equal to one of these values at once. It's not equal to all of this at once. No. It is equal to one word each in one object each time. That's why it's repeating, and we're saying, okay, repeat this, print. So what it's really doing is that it's printing hello, then it's printing goodbye, then again it's printing hi, then it's printing y, then again fight. So it's printing at the end, hello, goodbye, hi, y, fight. And after this is the slowest, and I got it right, and longest way of doing it. Because look, I could just say array. This is not really the longest way. I just tried to save time, but the really longest way is that you put a semicolon here and just say semicolon, then you just say std array semicolon space semicolon space, no space, enter, and after that until we did all of the 5. Because remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We start from the 0. So that counts. Remember the index stuff. We're almost done with the arrays. So let's see. Tip. This is how we get input an array. This is how we give input to an array. So tip. You cannot say is this an array. You cannot. Ding. So this. Wait. What am I saying here? Oh, I remember. Oh, I deleted a bunch of... Wait, let me see. I think I deleted some stuff. When I was writing the code, I think it's the last adjustment that I made. I don't want to find... Yes, days. Let's go to days. Days. No. Dang. No. Oh, no, wait. Anyways, so here the first way, we can do it this way, but the reason why I would not recommend it is because look, here we reference iterate, then we just said ci in the array and thing. Wait, does this even work? Let's see, does it work? I'm not certain if this code works. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, this code works, right? But it would not be recommended because we are referencing iterate, and we're only referencing. And remember, in the argument, I think it's parameter, not arguments. Sorry if I'm wrong because I never use these terms. I never use coding vocabulary. I only code. So sorry if I'm wrong. I think it's a parameter. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we are referencing iterate, and remember in parameters, or again, correct me if I'm wrong, it is not fully fledged publicly. What I'm trying to say is that it's not doing what it's only for the for loop. It's temporary. It's temporary. And okay, what else now? So after we said C in the I, but reference it to array. And then we said get line D. Okay. Yeah, we already said that. Now we just said print out I, and if it's a for loop, it's going to repeat continuous. But I forgot to tell you something, guys, before. It's that when is it going to stop? You might be wondering, some of you might be wondering, but when is it going to stop? You might be wondering. Well, it will stop until I was referenced to the full array. If I was equal to all of the array, the full array, if it was equal at least once of all of that, it cancels and it stops. And then its job is done. Oh, mistake. No, anyways, that was a mistake, sorry. Don't save. Okay, so let's delete this, don't save. Okay, now this is the good way of doing it, because look, here we just tested. Yeah, here after we tested here, this code, we tested it, and after, by the way, this is a multi-line comment. You start it like that, then you end it like that. So that it makes multi-lines instead of putting this. So here after we verified, we said std array 0. This is saying print out the 0th index of the array, and that is the first object. That's we did outside the for loop. The reason why we did outside the for loop is because if it was in the for loop, then this referencing would be affected to it. But after if we did it outside, then here you'd see that it didn't really affect it. If we actually remove the comments and we did all of this code, it will actually print out. It will print out. Let's see, what's the array? There is. Yes, it will print out hello. Because actually this is not referencing. This is only temporary. This is temporary. Okay, only for the for loop. But this is the way of how to make it perfect and to not make it only in the for loop, but universally public. Virtual. So we've made a variable equal to 0. Then we're saying if it's less than 5, until it's less than 5, then you will add I one time. You will add one value to I, that's I++. And you can also do I minus, that will remove one, and that will go to negatives. But I is equal to 0. So after we did I minus, then the first time it would be I is equal to -1, then -2, then -3, and after we'll say +3, that will be 0, because after negatives plus, I don't want to go in the details of negatives if you haven't seen that, but just stuff like that. After I said seeing where I is at, so look, it's going to stop until 5. We could have just made a variable and we could have called the index of the I forgot. You know, you can also put variables in these. You can also put variables in here. In these spaces, you can also put variables. It affects the same thing with the undefined stuff and the defined stuff. So, you could also make a variable that is an integer. It can't be a float, it can't be a double, it can't be anything else, but only a integer. And after, okay, so we could have just put a variable here, and we could have just said, okay, that the amount of index that variable has, amount of objects, sorry. So after we said each time that this runs, so I don't think if I've explained to you guys this, it's that when the code runs, the for loop, then it's going down here, then it's doing I++. Each time it reads it, at the end it's doing I++. So imagine if I just said imagine if I wrote I++, like here, down here. Then that's how it would work. It would write I++ at the end when it ran. So it's going to do it actually 5 times. So look, it's going to do this once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after, it's going to start from 0, right? And after, it's not going to be affected the I++ firstly. So after I is going to be equal to 0. And after that's perfect, because we're going to say in this specific index of the array. And that's going to be the first index. That's hello. That means that we're going to be replacing the hellos, the index of hello, the hellos index. And we go in that. And in that index, we're going to be replacing hello in whatever we write in. And that's going to be a string because our variable is declared as our array is declared as a string. So after we said cout, print out whatever you see it in. And after we said this is our input for I. What did I say? I should have said array. Anyways. Forget about that part. And after we tested it, and here when you print it out, I saw that it was the first thing that we wrote, the first thing that we see in, that was the value here. So whatever it seed out the first time was printed out here. That's what I saw. So this method works the best, and that is the method I would recommend you guys to do, depending if you want to write more code or less code, depending on what you're doing. Great. So now that we covered that, let's go to the vectors and maps. Let's see. Actually, I'll delete this. Let's see. What did I write in here? This stuff. Oh no, sorry. This is something else that I did. I think I put it in my projects. Yes, perfect. What was that? That was with maps. This will be with vectors. Okay, so first let's test if it works. Ehsan. We put characters in there. This is great. Okay. So what I did is that you might be confused. So here we started. And when we do maps, we have to include the map library. That's a new library that we didn't study yet. And also with vectors, there's also vector one. But okay. Oh no, I don't think I should show vectors first. I mean maps first. Let's hide that. No, let's hide that. Let's do that because the vectors is the best part first. So vectors. First we made a vector. So first we say std vector. If we did it using namespace, again we would need to say std and the colons. And after we'll put like this HTML, some bracket thingies here, and we'll print out we'll write down what type it is, and then we put the name. And then we made another one where we said it's char, then we put the grades. After here we made another variable my string, then we said print out print out print out student name, then we said input my string, the string. Then we said what continue, you see the square brackets. Oh, best practice, this is quite a good practice. Remember, always put it like this in the line, or just put it on the same row. That's so that you get well formatted. So it says while my string is not equal to 20. So that's what's happening. If I was to write Ehsan, then Ryan, or another name, then it would continue asking me the same question, the name, the grade, until I said finished. The reason why we say in first is because if we see in first, after this finished would not be if we write finished first, it would not affect this condition, because remember, it's only going to affect whatever is happening in here. So we can't just say finished immediately and then put no name. It will, if we put finished, then it will count finished as a student, and then you put the grade. And after we said until it's not equal to finish, and now it's affecting it, so that we at least have one name. And after here we said we made a character the student grade, and after here we said print out the student grade. Then yes, first we did the name, then the grade. Then we said then we said give input to the grade, to the student grade, student's grade, student grade character variable. Then we said, oh, this is a new thing, quite important. Vectors, they have a lot of small keywords that you can use. Oh, I also missed this one. My string. Okay, so let's quickly check out. So can you quickly, first of all, copy this URL, please? I'll give you a few seconds, 30 seconds actually. Let's see, clock. No, 33. No, stopwatch. Go. 3, 2, 1, go. I'll give you 30 seconds to copy this. Copy. 30 seconds, remember. Hoo-hoo. Done. Chop. Okay, so now we'll have to. Now I'll just explain what all of this is. So this can, if you want, give you a basic understanding of the vectors, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to show you that yeah, you see, there are many other names. That if you want, you can check out. I would certainly recommend you to to watch all of this and to read all of this to see any other small keywords that you can use for vectors, because that could be quite important and interesting. So here, pushback, add element to at the end, public member function. Let's see, go to the code. Okay, here in the code, we said, okay, so, oh no god, wrong one, no, I can't find it. Let's see, do I have it? Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, it's here. So here's the pushback. So we said, first we say what vector, and we said grades. Grades is a vector up here that we made. And by the way, there's a small keyword that you can use. It's control, shortcut that you can use, control F in Replit. You just do control F. Then you say, you just write what you want to find. And that's another thing that we might explain in a future video, regex, but I won't talk about that. So what do we want to look for? Right now, we want to look for the grades. There's 3 answers. Grades, grades, and grades. Okay, so we want that first answer, grades, here. So that's another way to find the what we want to look for. Oh, sorry. What am I saying? Sorry. DF grades. I never use this, so sorry. No. Sorry about. Okay, good. I was scared there. Okay. So now we push back the. Okay, students' names. So first we pushed back the students' names. So we said. So in the students' names vector, up here, we pushed back. We use the pushback. Then we here in the parentheses we put, because it's a function. Remember, like they say, public function. And after, I think that's what it said. Anyways, after we put what we want to put in, and here we're putting a variable, right? And that is whatever we input for the name. So after we're putting it in the student names library, and unlike arrays, you don't have to say how many things there are inside. You can make it infinite. And after, unlike arrays, you can write like, here I made a string, so after I can write hello, and I have no limit. I can't write what limit I have, because vectors are not allowed to have any limits. They're free, like maps. Maps are one of the most, not overwhelming, but very useful. Actually, no. What am I saying? A very useful thing that I can use. Maps. Okay. After here we said grades dot pushbacks. So after here we just inserted grades in the student grades into grades, the grades vector. Then we just print out the name. And okay, after he was looking if we're going to say finished. And after repeating. After we said made a search name, then we said give me a name search. After we had the search main, after we put out what name we want to search, and then we said for int, we said left int, and until int is less than until I is less than student's name, yes, dot size. Dot size is another keyword I use, and that is the amount of objects that they are in the vector. And after arrays, I think it's length. I'm not sure. Or maybe that's maps. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's maps. Maps, length. Vector, size. After he said I++. So until okay, so after it's repeating, and after saying until that repeats, and until this index that each time changes in the whole list of student names, after it's looking at each index, and after it finds one of those indexes, this name that we searched for a string, a name, and after it'll print out its grade. And after it prints grade, to know what grade it is. Or else it will just stop the program, signaling the termination, I think, something like that. Yeah. This is one of the ways of doing it, the project. But after, there's also the map way. Let's see. Yes, I put it in. Oh no, what am I saying? I put it here. So you include another library called map. Then here we okay, so maps are a little bit trickier. So we said that there are infinite storage spaces, as always, like vectors. first we say what are we using. Here we're saying maps, and again, if we're using namespace std, it would we not need to write std colon. We would only need to write map and all of that stuff, and not need to write std colon like that. So after here, we first say what we want to have in our map. Wait, is it possible to have 2 types? I never tried with 3 types. So it's possible. It's possible to have infinite types in here. So after you can even do all of the types. Okay. And after we saying our name of our map. And after here we're saying we're making a my string. And after we said print out the student name of my string, etc. And we say while my string is finished, same stuff as that. Because I think I copy pasted it, the code. I only changed the end. And after we say it's not finished. No, that's the same thing here. Same thing here. Same. Oh, bam, 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 bam. So we're saying. Oh, okay, so this is quite interesting and quite fun. This is what I love about maps. Is that here we're saying that whatever we're putting in my string, after here we're saying that is equal to string grade. So we're saying that. Oh yes. Oh, so here we're first printing out the our name, right? And after we print out the grade, and after we're saying that my string gets a line to student grade. So whatever, for example, if I were the user, they'll say, look, student name. After I'll say Ehsan, and after they'll say student grade. P. And what it's doing at the back of the code is that it's making a line from Ehsan to B. So after it's putting on one side the string and on the other side char. That's what I love about maps. It's that it just puts one of the values on one side, then the other value on the other side. Then it just tries to put this up, put this down, then. It's like maybe at school when you got a sheet of paper, and after you had like an exercise where you had like a list of many different things, then we put another huge list of many different things, and another huge. It's like fractions. 1, and after you have like 99, 99, etc. Sorry if you didn't learn that yet. I might be going too fast in mathematics right now. But all you have to know is that it's just creating a line together, connection. And after when it's giving connection to like the first my string, then that it's giving a connection that is storing the student grade map, and then after it's printing out is repeating each time until we say finished. So after here we put a string and we said search name. Then we said give me a name to search. Same thing. And after here we said okay. And after here, instead of writing all of that for loop stuff, we just added a small thing. We should put a small thing instead of all of that. We decrease the amount of code that we should wrote right there. So we said okay. So after we said student. Oh great. So here it's saying oh yes, great. So here we're putting the search name, then we're seeing it in, then we're saying this name, whatever name we put in here, then try to find that word and then try to find the connection that it's connecting to. Then actually, specifically, they're saying that find from this word, try to find it in that scrambled bunch of student grade map, and then in that bunch, when you find it, try to find what is it connected to and what connection it is with, and what is that connection, and then it's printing out that connection, and after that's going to print out the grade of that, because we're doing a string, and the connection of that string is going to be a char, because that's what we said so up here. You see, C++ is quite fun at the when you get it at the end. It's quite fun, the topics. But after, if you just beginning, you might think it's not very good. But sometimes it's very fun. So after our name, Ehsan. Wrong name. Ehsan, A, Ryan, B. I'll go infinitely until we say finished, and we'll say Olive Yale. By the way, it's a French name. You might not know this. A. So after now, let's try to find. Okay, finished. Give me that search. Let's search. And 8 works. And after it works with all of those other ones, if we said all of those other ones. But wait, let's check what it's going to do if we just said finished. Ooh. Oh, actually, sorry, it's directly affecting itself. Oh, I didn't know. I think it's only with the map that it's doing that. It's directly affecting to that. And after it's saying, okay, finished. Nothing. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, I think that's only with maps. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, guys. And yeah, see you in the next one.